noticed the last few days that it's got really hot. Like it's been really muggy and like it's probably almost up to 15, 16 degrees Celsius.
Do you reckon it's due to global warming?
Look, I don't know. It could be. It could be. It could just be.
It's probably due to farmers, man.
Yeah, I was going to say it was either like global warming,
Cows,
because that's been going on for quite some while. It was either that or that the season's changed and it is coming into summer.
Is that happening at the moment?
Yeah, that's happening too. So we've got two like big climate events at the moment going on. So we've got one which is climate change, and then the other is the weather.
So are we at one of those points where it changes in the year, like where it turns the bend and we get a whole new set of sort of rules for 3 months?
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, Luke, weather is always changing. It's never the same. But the climate stays the same. But then when you have climate change, that means the climate changes, right? Yeah. So you've got weather, which is 3 months.
And it's allowed to. It's 2020, you know. You don't have to be any one thing anymore. And if the climate wants to change...
Exactly.
It could be any gender, any sexuality.
The climate, if the climate wants to be identified as warm...
neutral.
Or neutral, or even just...
No one wants to be identified as warm, though, because it's like you're not hot.
You're on the fence.
You know,
make up your mind. Make up your mind. And I feel like that's what the weather has done. And that's why we do have climate change. And when I say climate change, I mean the warming of the planet, right?
So,
it's easy to mistake the two, like summertime and global warming. It's very easy to mistake the two.
So we're all about, you know, letting men become women, animals and humans make love, legalising things, change, but we won't let the climate change, will we? Stop the climate change, they're saying.
No.
The kids are out hitting the streets, skipping school.
The kids are doing it because the kids...
They don't get it.
The kids have been raised to be more aware
dumb.
And more, as they say, woke than the rest of us.
Yeah.
So the kids, that's why the kids are out there with the pitchforks. I mean, not the pitchforks, the signs.
Yeah.
You know, and they're aware of the weather. Yeah. And but in short, that's probably why you're sweaty at the moment.
Yeah.
Is because of
a lot going on.
Because of climate change and also because of the weather.
Well,
because it is coming into summer.
I'm not going to judge the weather for changing, and I'm going to offer a piece of advice. Before you cast any judgment, maybe do some polite investigation first.
Is that like doing your research on the internet?
Just
YouTube videos. Watch YouTube videos
before you judge anything.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do my research on the internet, on specifically YouTube rabbit hole wormholes that I go down. That's where I find my information, and I take that information for gospel because I don't have any other sources telling me otherwise.
Yep.
So I think that's what people need to do when they look at climate change and look at the weather. You know.
Exactly.
Because it's so up and down, it's topsy-turvy. Like the other day it was 9 degrees Celsius. Today it's cooking. It's 15, 16 degrees.
That's
and
so true.
I'm sweating.
Yep, that's so true. And I'm really glad we started like that.
But I tell you what, that could do with the water warming up. That hasn't happened yet. It's still fucking freezing.
How hot is the water?
Oh, I wouldn't use the term hot when describing the water at the moment. It's probably... Well, it's not warm. It's not even close to being warm. I've been wearing a 4 mil.
4 mil.
Fuck, we'll say it's 13 degrees. I don't really know.
Degrees.
All I know is I go in the water and I reckon I can stay out there for about 3 hours if I'm moving around, keeping my body warm.
Is that how surfers determine the temperature? How hot's that 1 hour?
Yeah, you kind of say, like, if you're going to determine the temperature, it's like, okay, so how long were you out there and what wetsuit were you wearing? You know, so if you're like, oh, you know, how warm's the water? You'd say, 3 hours and a 3-2.
3 hours, 3-2.
3 hours and a 3-2.
Do you work in minutes, though, like 180, 3-2? Or do you say...
No, you go hours. You go hours and work in like half. Yeah. So like Swedish rounding.
Yeah, Swedish.
So if you're out there for 2 hours and 13 minutes, you'd round up Swedish rounding 2.5 hours.
Interesting, because the Swedish are not known for their surfing, but they
They're
like
not.
to talk about how long they do it for.
Yeah, no, well, Swedish like to talk about bigger numbers than the accurate numbers.
Oh, they inflating.
They're not very accurate, Swedish people. That's why they have Swedish rounding, because they weren't very good at counting things. Maybe. So they'd have to, like, Swedish round, or round that one up, or round that one down.
Yeah.
You know? But they do have waves in Sweden.
Waves.
They do have surf in Sweden. Not very good, very cold as well.
It's funny, and you say they inflate things. They're from the Vikings. They've always been liars.
The Swedish have? That's funny. I'm actually Swedish.
Oh yeah,
Yep, the name's Cederman. That's Swedish.
is it?
It is, yeah.
Funny, because I always thought your Cederman, people were named after what they used to do back in the day.
Yes,
Taplin, I was
yep.
father of a plumber and a linen folder.
Yep.
And we got like Josh Shaw, and he used to be
Very
really confident and sure of everything.
Confident, yep.
And you were Cederman, worked with wood, lovely cedar decks.
Well, that's
you were
where
the man to get hold of when you needed some cedar.
Yeah,
Not
well,
the case.
that's where I think my name comes from, is from
Oh,
the
it is.
cedar tree.
Oh.
Although it is spelt differently. Mine's C-E-D-E-R, I think.
But
And then
it's-
the tree is C-E-D-A-R. So it's a little bit
that's
different, but I
just
think maybe in
lost
Sweden
in
that's how
translation.
they spell cedar,
Yeah.
with an
So
E-R.
Swedish.
So maybe I used to be a tree plantist or something.
You were a Swedish tree growing
Swedish tree plantist.
lumberjack.
Well, I'd like to think lumberjack, but it was probably
Viking.
something, a Viking. Yeah, built log cabins or some shit. I don't know. I do like to wear plaid, and I do like to have a beard. So maybe that's Swedish lumberjack. That's where that name came from.
Well, do you know, if we're just talking bloodlines, DNA, and history for a moment, that I was told on the weekend by my father, who I've just recently got to know, that I'm part Tongan.
Really?
Mm.
You've got the bone structure,
Thank you.
and I say that in a very non-racist way.
No, I know.
Yeah. Because your body looks good.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. You've got a good-looking body.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And if people are listening to this, I'll just describe his body. It's, what are you, 5'11", 6 foot? 6'1".
I'm 187 centimetres.
180. You're 6 foot to 110?
104. Just weighed
104.
myself about 8 minutes ago.
104 kilograms. So stocky, and good looking, chiseled jawline.
Thank you, Luke.
Looks a lot like Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot like Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Without the
very
riches
true.
or the singing talent.
That's very true. But do you know what I do with these looks? Is I use them as cougar bait. And that's why you'll see me at the face of major New Zealand brands are tempting them in to spend their money this year.
Is that why?
Christmas,
I've noticed
you got me
that.
Tip Top ice cream.
Yep.
Spate's low-carb beer for the metropolitan man in Auckland that doesn't like real beer and can't just grab a handle and drink some gas. He likes to think he's being good about it and has low-carb stuff. Spate's no diss. It's what
Yeah.
it's for.
Fake health, they call that.
It's a wonderful drop, and you should definitely buy a box. And then one more that I can't announce as well. So the 3 this year that I'm using this Michael Bublé look to capitalise on.
That's amazing. So you've made money, basically, from being a Michael Bublé impersonator.
Exactly. Without any
Visually.
talent, visually, just
Yes, exactly.
visually.
Visually.
His body language and looks and glances to seduce cougars into spending their husband's money.
Yeah, because the old ducks love a bit of boob, eh?
Oh, well, not as much as I do.
I like tits,
Tits.
is what you're talking about. Yeah,
boobs.
not Michael Bublé.
Lock up
What's
your wives, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think you've overshot the mark there. But Sweden, back to Sweden. They've
Shithole.
got shit waves
Shithole.
and they're not good with numbers. So
Lapland.
that's why they have to round up.
And I don't know this for certain, but the Norwegians do it. The Swedish probably chase whales.
They would.
Yeah.
They're definitely whale hunters.
Mm.
But is it Norwegians? Norwegians that do that. They massacre a
Norwegians,
bunch
Nordic-
of whales.
Yeah, they like
every year.
to they like to hunt whales and eat them and use their blubber inside their jackets, their puffer jackets in Sweden. Over here we use like a duck down, but in
Whale down.
Norway they use no blubber. They just use the blubber of the whale, and they put that inside their puffer jackets because it's -30 in the peak of winter.
Also, is that a down? Would you class that as a
No,
down?
they call it they call it a blub.
Blub.
How much blub is that? You say it's 30 blub, 40 blub. And they also use the dork of the whale as a candelabra.
What the fuck is a dork of a whale?
The penis. That's what a dork is.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
The whale penis is called a dork.
Is that where the term dork
yeah, look at
comes
this
from?
dork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone call me that before, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're a dick. When you're a dork, it's different to being what a dick.
Do you reckon they have sharks there or just whales in Norway or Sweden?
I don't know. I'm always confused as to where sharks are.
Well, that's why I did that test.
Mm.
I showed you that test
that's
that
right.
I did to determine whether or not there are sharks in different surf spots. right? And it's an
It
easy
would be
test.
nice to know.
Yeah, it's great to know. You
Is
want
there
to
a shark
know
there?
if you're going to paddle out and there's a risk of you being
What's the
mauled to
ratio?
death
Yeah.
by a frustrated shark.
Yeah.
And that's why I made up that test. Well, I didn't make it up. I actually took that off someone else that showed me how to do it. But to,
Treated like a fleshlight by an orca.
What?
Like you paddle out and get treated like a fleshlight by an orca.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
that's one of my fears, like you're worried about going out and getting mauled by a shark.
Yeah.
Or getting treated like a fleshlight by an orca.
No, they're not. They don't have that kind of.
Because it's not fun.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm sure it
Shit,
wouldn't be.
Look,
Look,
not flexible.
You're interrupting me. I'm trying to explain
Excuse me.
this.
Yeah.
So that's why I did that demonstration about how to see if there are sharks out in your favourite surf spot.
Yeah.
Because I get that question so often. People are just like, are there sharks in Raglan? And I've never seen a shark in Raglan.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you can't actually see anything in the water in Raglan or in the West Coast because we get so much runoff down the streams from
Bloody
from
farmers.
farms. Yeah, they're shitting at the farmers are literally sitting on the bank of a river, shitting in the river. That shit, or their cows are. The cows are sitting on the bank.
I think
of
it's
a river.
all of them.
Everyone, just animals, people,
Humans.
shitting into rivers, and then that effluent carries down out into harbours and
Runoff settlements,
Run-
which
all
then
the
go
runoff?
through into the soil and turn into nitrogen-fueled bullets that go and shoot our waters.
yeah, what you said. But that's why it's all so murky, so we can't even see if there are sharks or other sort of animals or vegetation out there in the ocean. So that's why I used that test, right?
Very clever, that test.
Yeah. And because we all know that, sharks like to live in water, right? But you have those people who ask, are there sharks in Raglan? Are there sharks at your favourite surf spot? Blah, blah, blah. Are there sharks here and there? And I don't think they realise that the environment, the conditions that sharks like to live in is salt water, So that's why I did that test, to show that, if there is salt water, there's a very high probability of sharks living in that salt water because that's the ocean and that's where sharks live.
And it was very clever of you because you'd think, how am I going to test? I'm not a scientist.
I know.
How do I do a lab test to
I didn't have
work out where...
I had no pH testers.
What's even in the water? How do you know? So you were just very clever in the way that you did that.
Yeah.
The Raglan Surf Report,
Well,
the latest Raglan Surf Report.
The thing is, I used to do it because I used to have one of those spa pool kits, right, with the pH testers. So I used to go down into the ocean, and I'd be like, shit, I can't tell, what is the percentage of is there even sodium in this water? And so I'd go down there with one of those little pH testers from the spa, and then I'd dip that in the water for about a minute, and then I'd come back out and I'd look at that, and then it'd come up like purple or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, there's a high amount of sodium in this water. Fuck, this must be the ocean, right? There must be sharks in there. And that's how I used to tell if there would be sharks in the water.
If it was salty or not. If it was
If it
salt
was salty,
water,
yeah.
it's likely going to have sharks because
Yeah.
that's where they live and that's what the ocean is. That's what you're saying. Hey.
Yeah, but
It's
then I
salt
did it
water.
a couple of times. I tested the water a couple of times. Came out no sodium.
So where did you test that water?
Taupo.
Taupo, yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky. See?
Yeah.
Great to have those things, those little litmus tests that you can do so that you know what the facts are.
I knew, and that's why, like, when I go into Taupo, I don't surf with a knife there. Because they do
Nah.
get wind swells there.
Oh, yeah. They get about
It's a big fetch.
this much, eh? Well,
Yeah.
So, out the back.
I'm going to eat my biscuit now.
Yeah, they're quite interesting biscuits. Like a shortbread with chocolate on the bottom.
They're good. I'd be fucked off, though, if I was listening to this podcast and then you just listen to some dickhead eating a biscuit.
Be kind
Pretty
and not
disrespectful.
talk. That's all right, man. We've got time because we need to move on to the next part of the agenda. Because you've
What
written an
agenda?
agenda.
I didn't have an agenda.
Yeah, there's an agenda here which lists the things that you wanted to talk about.
I never
podcast.
I never came up with an agenda for this.
Oh, we've got one.
How come? Why do you have stuff written down?
Because there was a meeting. Someone was at a meeting, and they've made a list of things that what you wanted on the agenda. I don't know where.
Wait. I had some notes in my iCloud on my iPad, right?
You where?
On my iPad, I had notes which were similar to those notes. Did I log into my iCloud on your iPad? Is that how that came up?
I've got my own pads.
Oh.
But are you where?
Well, no, I was just thinking that my notes must have come up on your iPad because I think I logged into
No, these are handwritten,
Oh, that's handwritten.
scribed.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as we're getting the right information.
Well, the first one says surf comps and pro surfing. That's what you wanted to talk about. So this is your opportunity.
I never wanted to talk about anything. I came into this fresh, you know.
Well, let's just go with the agenda. Is
But
this
if-
for your show?
Yeah, this is for this, right?
Yep.
I guess I'm assuming you're the one who wrote it down.
Well, okay. Well, the first topic is surf comps and pro surfing.
Well, I
Yeah.
think I can talk about that because
Okay.
I have a lot of experience with that, with surf comps.
You do.
Yeah. I've been in several myself.
Yeah.
I've won several myself.
So
And I don't
you've,
think-
you've achieved some massive accomplishments
Oh.
in surfing. It's unbelievable, really.
I
when
have.
you look at it. Your trophy cabinet is substantial.
Yeah. But and that's the sad thing.
Glossy.
I think is that a lot of people, probably even people listening to this podcast right now, don't
even
actually
know.
understand how many accolades I have
Yeah.
as a surfer.
Exactly.
How accomplished I am
Yeah.
as a I wouldn't say professional surfer, because I feel like that really diminishes what I have achieved.
Because this doesn't even really show it.
No, I feel
That
like
just
I've kind of
means you've-
surpassed that. It's just putting me into a group with all these
Yeah.
other pro surfers
That are
and-
attempting to be good.
that are attempting to be good,
Yeah.
attempting to make a career out of their chosen sport.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've surpassed that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on another level.
But yeah, so surf comps,
Surf comps and pro surfing, yeah.
surf comps and pro surfing. So there is a surfing contest coming up soon.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, a COVID comp.
Well, it's got nothing to do with COVID at all.
Oh, boring.
I mean, everything in 2020 does have something to do with COVID
Yeah,
because
stay
we're all
on
affected by
brand.
it in some way.
Stay on brand, WSL.
Yeah, but it's not a WSL event. It's a New Zealand circuit event,
Sorry,
right? In
WSL.
Raglan.
Okay.
And I feel like I have a home court advantage there.
Raglan.
Yeah, because that's where I'm from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Raglan Surf Report podcast.
Yeah.
You'd say, yeah, you know it, eh?
Yeah, I know it. I've
Yeah.
been there. I've surfed it several times.
Yeah.
In fact, I am the defending champion of this event.
Oh, which is, I know this. I was at this one time watching. You are the current.
You're at one of them.
You're at the current You're the current Backdoor Pro.
Backdoor champ. 2 times backdoor champ. 2 times in a row.
Do your
in the
mates
back
know?
door.
And the people, it's so nice. Must be so nice to be able to share that you are the Backdoor Pro.
Oh,
You are
there's
the
nothing
champ of
more.
Backdoor.
There's nothing more that I love to tell people when they ask me. They're just like, "Are you, have you won a contest before? What have you achieved?" And it's just like, "Well, 2 times backdoor pro. Like,
I took out the
I've done the
backdoor.
backdoor twice.
I've done the Backdoor twice, and
Yeah. I won the backdoor twice, 2 times in a row. And now, in 3 weeks' time, I'm going for the hat trick. I'm going for the 3 in a row
Well, this will be the
3
third
times
time.
in the backdoor.
Yeah, in the Backdoor, and then
Well, not just in
being
the
on
backdoor.
top, being
not
on
it-
top as well.
being on top of in the back door. And this isn't just about being in the back door 3 times in a row. This is
Sorry, that went down
about
my windpipe.
this is about winning, being the champion, being the champion of the back door.
It's
3
right.
times in a row.
And
the
good
back
on
door
you
pro.
for giving it another go.
Mm.
And being willing to fight, put it at risk, and fight again, and continue to stay where you like to be, which is at the top and on top in the back door.
And they need to change the name of that contest.
No
though.
way, you are the backdoor champ, and
Oh.
it is something to be proud of.
And you know what someone brought up the other day is when I was, I wasn't say I'd be gloating or skiting about winning it. I was just, relaying facts and information about how I'm 2 times backdoor pro champion or backdoor, the backdoor contest. And someone pointed out, well, actually, because they've called it the King of the Point, King of Manu Bay.
King of the point,
Yeah, which
backdoor
means
challenge.
Which means technically I am the king of Raglan, right?
Do they
Because
only do backdoor in Raglan?
They only do the backdoor in Raglan. So the backdoor's only in Raglan. But then someone pointed out that last year, actually, oh yes, please, last year the backdoor wasn't just the backdoor in Raglan; it was the backdoor in Ruapuki.
Oh,
And I won it in Ruapuki. I won it in Ruapuki. And
Hold on. Do you know? Did you know the other people in it that time, or was that just like a casual thing?
a casual backdoor, that one. No, that was I knew the other people in that event, but they had to move it to Ruapuki because the swell was too small at Manu Bay.
How do you get invited to the parties?
You don't get invited. All you do is pay like $65 and enter.
Oh, so it's just like one of those clubs that you pay to turn
Anyone
up to.
can go. It's not even a club.
Women get in free to the comp? Like,
No,
like
women still have to pay.
Oh, so women have to pay to go in the back door as well?
Yeah, women have to pay to get in the back door. And
Poor woman.
So I won at Manu Bay, which makes me the king of Raglan, which is great.
Backdoor. Yep.
You know, and also the king of Ruapuki Beach. So I am the king of 2 areas, right?
That's so nice.
So I'm basically.
It must feel so good.
Well, I don't know.
I'd love to feel that good.
Would you?
Mm.
It's not as good as you'd think. There's a lot of pressure that comes with being the king of a certain surf break.
Backdoor. Yeah.
And now, when I realised that I was a king of 2 surf breaks,
Yep.
I've got double the pressure, right?
Yep.
Because I have to live up to a certain standard
Yep.
every time I go
There's
surfing. People are like,
expectations
hey,
on
there's Luke Cedarman. He's the king of Manu Bay.
Yep.
And then I go somewhere else after living up to those expectations. People are like, there's Luke Cedarman. He's the king of Ruapuki Beach. So I've got that with two different spots.
Look, it just puts you amongst the elite. Puts you amongst the elite.
Oh,
and that is a privileged place to be, and you can be proud of what you've done at the back door.
Yeah. And before this, I'm not going to say I didn't know how it felt to be like Kelly Slater, because I do, because I'm bald.
Yeah, I heard he doesn't do it in the back door.
No, he goes backdoor, but in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at backdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah, not anything to do with the surf shop.
Because I've got pipeline and then back door.
Yeah, exactly. They've got pipeline and backdoor.
So he chooses
there's
back door
2 ways
every
you can
time.
go. He doesn't choose the back door every time. He just goes backdoor sometimes.
Where do you go?
Like most of us do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you for explaining all that and let me understand where you're at with that, those titles.
Yeah.
And managing that reputation.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at, and I've got that event coming up, the back door.
Do you want to practice on me or like with me at all, like over this time, and just get ready?
No,
for the next time?
that's the thing. I don't really need any practice. One thing I do need to do
You know how to hit it hard.
is try and cut down on my carbohydrate intake, because I've hit the scales at 106 the other day, and it was quite alarming.
You're heavier than I.
Yeah, I am heavier than you. Yeah. I was going to say I'm
Don't
taller
look
than
it.
you, but I think I'm the same height. But that's one thing that I really need to try and cut down on, is my carbohydrate intake, just so I can lose a few kgs, just so I'm a little lighter on my feet. Well, you'll notice like I haven't started sipping this beer yet. If I drink it slowly,
G'day, Greg. Come on through, mate.
less chance of carbs.
Yeah, well, good luck to that with cutting weight, and good luck in the back door again.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be standing right beside the bed watching on a tablet. Is it televised?
I'm not sure if it's televised. I don't think it is.
You should stream yourself.
I can do a live stream. I can do a live stream. I've got the technology. I've got a telephone with the capabilities to live stream things. So I'm thinking about live streaming as much of that as I possibly can.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to make sure that I click that and watch that.
And because there are no other professional surfing events this year, it's something that I think will actually hold a lot of value. Because there's no other surfing events to watch. So if this is an event that can be streamed somehow onto the internet, then you're going to get a hell of a lot more fans. It's like when rugby league was the only sport being played during COVID, when that first started, and you had more people jumping on board and becoming fans of that sport because it was the only live sport in the world at that time. And I feel like this event coming up, while insignificant to some, it could actually bring in a large online crowd, because there are not many surf events.
And do you know what you'll do is you'll
moment.
pick up the people that are searching for a backdoor and end up coming across your link to surfing when they were looking for anal.
What?
Yeah, well, because that's
What do you mean?
Well, like they'll typing in backdoor.
Yeah.
And they'll come across your link for surfing because it's the Backdoor Pro, and they weren't actually looking for the surfing Backdoor Pro. You can just type that into, like on Tube Galore. If you go onto tubegalore.com and type in backdoor, wonderful videos on there, but nothing to do with surfing.
What? Oh, fuck. Yeah. No, you're right, actually. Because
no. Yeah,
I get it. But you're talking about anal sex.
Yeah, of
and
course.
not the surf shop.
No. Oh, no,
Backdoor.
not Backdoor Surf Shop, which do a great job.
Yeah, because that's what the event is, right?
Yeah, and you're the king
That's
of the
through
backdoor.
Yeah, I'm king of the backdoor. But I think what you're talking about is anal sex, which is different.
You have those people that, looking for that, but they end up there, and you're expanding your audience.
Oh, okay.
Big audience.
That is increasing it by.
It's good.
That's massively.
Yeah,
because if you look at the amount of people who are going to be searching for backdoor surf contest, probably not that many.
Probably a third of the amount.
Probably
less,
1/3.
1/10 of the people looking for
anal sex online.
buggery.
Yeah. Very different, but also a very different, kind of target demographic. Because you have, on one hand, you have people that are interested in a surfing event in Manu Bay, Raglan, and then on the other hand, you have people who are obviously delinquents and horrible people that are going to hell.
Hey,
you know?
Kay, no, hey, Kay, hey, that's not fair. I think, as we spoke about earlier, judgment, people are allowed to do whatever they want, really, unless it's against the law, and buggery isn't.
It's not well, it is in some places.
Very true.
Mm.
Maybe they will go to hell. I think you'd go to hell in India.
But yeah, no, you are right. I think about the search word, about how you will have more traffic onto the site. But then I just don't think. I think it's very different demographics.
It's probably not a bad business plan or tactic for whatever it is you're trying to sell, to have it as a double meaning and somehow link it into the porn world, because there's so many pests online.
So many pests.
And you just
so
pick
many
up,
sexual deviants.
pick up a click, but it's click. It's just clickbait. Clever clickbait.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon I could rename this somehow? Does something more?
I think
more
if you Google
sexualised?
Raglan Surf Report on TubeGalore.com, you'll see
Something
that,
comes
yeah,
up.
that it's there already.
Oh, it's already established.
That is
Okay.
well known.
Well, it's just I've never had anyone.
Really well known.
Yeah, oh, really?
They call it And the funny thing about the Raglan backdoor comp and anal sex is that they both are about getting in the tube.
Although it doesn't really tube often in Raglan. Apart from last
But when
Thursday.
it does, who's in there? You are.
That's right, I'm in there. And I was in there last Thursday.
Yeah, I
Did
saw
I tell
you.
about this? I told you about
in
this,
there
didn't I?
last Thursday. There was some pretty cool barrels, man.
Yeah,
There
I got
was some
deep.
Brilliant surf this week.
I got deep.
You were.
Yeah,
You
it was
you
amazing.
were.
It was probably one of the better surfs that I've ever had in Raglan.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever?
I'm not even.
All time.
I'm not even telling fibs. Serious.
And you're in a 3-2 for about 3 hours.
I was in a 4-3 for 4 hours, so that gives you a good idea of what the temperature was. It was cold. It was cold, but it was worth it. And I actually fought through a little bit of what I thought was frostbite, but it turns out frostbite's something different. I just had cold feet, and I fought through that to get like some of the best waves that I've ever had out there. Just consistent wise, I probably got 10 to 15 really nice waves.
It's amazing how you still manage to show a progression at this age.
What does that mean?
Well, most people by your age are they're not progressing in a professional sport like you are. You're still progressing.
Yeah, I guess I am a bit of an anomaly, really.
Yeah.
And one
When
thing
are
that
you
I
going
was
to stop being,
I don't think I mean, for me
amazing.
personally, I am. Like I said before, I'm 106 kgs. I could lose a bit of weight,
Yeah.
but then
You don't have
you know,
to.
I feel physically I don't see myself slowing down anytime soon.
This
You
feels
know.
so nice.
And I felt a little bit bad about that the other day when I was out there surfing, because I was on another level compared to everyone else out there. Like I was on another level. You know, and they were down on this other tier, like well below me.
They are
And I felt bad about that, but there was nothing that I could do about that because it was just all natural instinct, you know.
Yeah.
I was just superior in them to
Yeah.
in every way,
Yep.
but I didn't. It's not something that I was striving for. It was just something that just I was naturally created to be, you know, almost perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And it did feel. It made me feel a little bit guilty when I'd look around and just see all the other pathetic people out there, and just knowing that they would never, ever really get to my level. And I felt bad.
They're enjoying themselves. They feel lucky to be out there with you. It's about, don't judge, just politely investigate.
Yeah. I guess it is what it is, you know. I can't do anything about that. I can't bring my level down to make other people feel good. And that's why I go out and I try and surf as good as I can. Well, I surf as good as I can, which is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Because I want to bring everyone else in the water up. Obviously, they'll never get to my level.
Morale.
But if they can get to, 1, 2, 3, 7 levels below me, I think that's good enough. And they're going to feel better about themselves.
That's right. Let's see what you're doing on a daily basis is just you're like a charity.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing that I've Surfing New Zealand have really never acknowledged this, and they've never really given me the
Someone's
kudos
dropped the
that I
ball there.
deserve. Yeah. It's sad, but I'm hoping that one day, after all that I do and all that I've done for not just surfing in New Zealand, but just surfing, that someone will eventually, acknowledge that and reward me with a blowjob at least.
Yeah, well, I don't think one of those is far away from the rumours I've heard.
Yeah.
If you read the comments on the Raglan Surf Report YouTube subscription page, you'll see that you are going to get a blowy real soon.
Really?
Probably
I haven't looked at
this week.
I haven't looked at the updated comments.
Well, I would say don't read it then and enjoy the surprise.
Okay.
And let it happen. And don't judge a book by its cover. It's my advice. Do you know that we've gone through 2 of your agenda parts so far?
I never had an agenda for this podcast.
There's an agenda here.
Oh.
The third thing on it says sales, revenue, and business of the Raglan Surf Report. So there was maybe some topics on there that you thought...
Oh, okay. Well,
be
that's
discussed.
interesting. I'm not really a businessman. I'm not into sales. However, I do have some new merchandise that's about to drop.
Yeah, well, great. What have you got?
I've got some T-shirts.
Yeah.
They are, I'm assuming, 100% cotton.
Cotton.
From
made.
either Bangladesh or China. They're definitely
Good.
not New Zealand made.
Good.
Nothing's made in New Zealand anymore.
Except
They are
for-
great
yeah.
T-shirts, though.
Good.
And I'll be selling them as soon as I receive them back from the manufacturers.
Yeah. That's fantastic news.
Yep.
And I thought...
I was also thinking about expanding this multimedia empire that I've built.
Yes, good.
And
That's exactly where I saw this
Yes.
conversation heading.
You know.
I thought maybe you could sell anything.
Sell space.
Space.
Exactly.
That's right.
Sell advertising space. Much like billboards.
Golf.
Well, there
golf,
you go. Tip list.
Golf.
Can you get that out? Because that might actually deter a brand from jumping on here.
But
if
maybe
they
someone
see
could
that.
stick something there. Anything. A logo.
I reckon I could get logos.
Some product.
We could get
whatever you want.
T-shirts. I've got my T-shirts coming, so we should both be wearing my T-shirts when I get those.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking maybe sell some space at the back.
Yep.
Like for those people who are listening to this, there's a bit of room. Like it's a 2-shot, me and Luke. You can see our faces, and then there's some room at the back there where we could potentially get some big logos in there, or like I was saying earlier, how they have the what's it called, that show? The breakfast
Oh, you're
after
talking
that?
about the cafe.
The cafe, which is
9:30 on 3
yeah,
AM.
on which is essentially a show where a lot of people, like the Chanui guy or the people with ladders, go and show off their products, their infomercial kind of products.
That's right.
And I was thinking we could get them maybe in the back here, because I can't see that show
Demonstrations
lasting.
and advertorials.
Exactly, I can't see that show going on much longer because
God,
it's
that's
fucking
boring.
horrible.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we could get that going, so we
Yep.
could have people doing demonstration, even some TikTok stars.
Yep.
Get them, they can pay us some money.
I think
Get
we
them in the
just-
background there, boost their TikTok dancing.
We provide the space. Contact Raglan Surf Report directly.
Direct
Let the
message.
relationships unfold. If you've
Yep.
got a product or a performance or something, then we're
'Cause
going to sell that space to really grow the Raglan Surf Sport.
There is literally probably 3 to 4
Meters?
cubic square meters.
Yep.
Cubic, no, we'll go cubic because we've got up
There's
and
upwards as
around. And which you can do, like if you're
Volume.
a
fat person.
fire poi enthusiast who's looking to go professional, you can come on here, do your fire pois behind us, and then you might get some interest.
If you're in a
from anyone
wheelchair,
watching this.
you can roll straight
We've
in.
got access.
Wheelchair
It's
access.
where we're ground level. So there's fucking wheelchair access.
Wheelchair access. And like you were saying, if you're fat, it's fine. There's 3 square meters.
Cubic meters, I said.
If you're tall, it's okay. If you're short, it's probably okay as well. But if you're real
But there's
short...
less, like you've
Yeah.
got to be bigger than that.
Yeah. So be taller than us, otherwise we won't let you on, because we don't... Short people are just annoying because you can't really hear what they're saying and shit.
But basically that's where I'm at. I'm looking at
And you can see the
creating
top of their head and then the dandruff.
dandruff. I'm looking at creating an empire here, or at least expanding what I've got. So if you've got any inquiries, any business inquiries, if you want to do if you've got a kapahaka group or something, we can get you in the back there, and it's going to make this more dynamic, because at the moment there's not a lot going on back here. There's not a lot going on back here. So we just want to try and lively that up, and then...
And I'll jump in there because it does say sales, revenue, and business. If your product is designed to be consumed or sold to males between the ages of 18 and 44, we know where they are.
We've got that on lock. We've got that demographic. If anyone wants to give us...
Very hard to advertise too.
Beer.
Very hard.
We'll take beer. We'll take food.
Beer, food, lube are the first 3 choices. But we'll also go anything.
Just anything. Look, some people say it's selling out. I say it's taking advantage of opportunities when they present themselves.
We're selling in.
Yeah, we're selling in. And that's what you need to do too. So get on board. Get on the Raglan Surf Report train because we're on the way to Successville. And population, you, potentially, and also us. Mainly me, because I started the Raglan Surf Report.
You're the king of the place. Wherever the train ends up, you'll be there. There'll be a little station called the Cedarman Station.
Yep.
You get off there, and there's a man who comes over and he clips your ticket.
And you'll be on the Raglan Surf Report. You said that, the Raglan Surf Report Express.
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, you'll be on board the Raglan Surf Report Express.
So you know the good thing about the Raglan Surf Report Express? Clean tracks.
Clean.
You know what's good about having clean tracks?
Unmolested tracks.
They're the trains that keep on going.
They are the trains that keep on going.
The ones with clean tracks. So
Have
don't
we
get
talked about surfing?
Don't get a criminal record.
We have talked about surfing, eh?
A little bit. But I know that surfing's
was there
a
anything that
passion
you
of
wanted
yours.
to know? Because I know that I'm obviously the pro here.
About
and
surfing?
then you're the pleb.
Nah, not this time. I haven't been surfing.
You haven't been doing it, have you?
Not for about maybe 2-3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a baby, man. Those things
that'll
can
do
be
it to you.
fucking shit. How's your baby, nephew, niece, new one?
Oh, new one. I don't know, mate. So small.
Who cares,
They're just
eh?
small. See, and that's the thing, I think, and going back to what we were talking about previously, is if you are sexually active, if you are sexually active, and then the best way to avoid any, like for you haven't surfed in 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And then I think for you, the one thing that you maybe should have contemplated doing, more backdoor,
Fuck, trust me, bro.
More backdoor.
I have tried to do more backdoor since 2007 was the year that I remember really starting to swing that way.
Yeah.
And it has always proven to be a challenging thing to make your your main check, if that makes sense.
I don't know what you just said.
But
what I'm trying to,
I'm
just.
But I'm struggling to get lots of it.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot of anal sex. But I think that's the key. If you want more surf time, less children, backdoor's your way to go, really, isn't it?
Yep. So nice that we can share the wisdom that you and I both have. Mostly you.
Mainly me. But I think we could probably end on that.
I've got one quick question.
Yeah.
I'd just like to propose it to you because you know how basketball's your favourite sport.
Yes.
Surfing's
a lifestyle.
Yeah, you love surfing. You're passionate
and
about
also
surfing.
a profession when you're someone of my standard. But
Basketball.
in terms of the sport, yes, basketball.
Favourite sport. Would you be in a 2-on-2 team with me? We were a team. We'd go on comp. I play every Thursday. I've been playing for like 3 weeks. I'm getting all right. Can bounce it and shit. Run that way.
Yeah.
And you're primo at it. Like, you're almost as good as basketball as you are as surfing.
No way.
Pretty
No,
close. Can you front dunk?
I can do a front dunk.
Can you reverse dunk?
I can do a backwards reverse dunk, yeah.
Can you throw it between your legs and dunk?
No fucking way.
Could you go around your hips and dunk?
Nope, can't do that.
Could you throw it against the backboard, catch it with one hand and dunk?
Yeah, I can do that, yep.
So you can do 3 out of the 5 dunks.
I can do 3 out of those 5.
That's well above average.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And considering like those are the main things that make you a good basketball player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
because that's how they won the NBA this year. Like the NBA was just like, they just checked it off. They got all the teams, they lined up all the guys, and they just had that checklist of those 5 slam dunks. And they're like, can you do this one? And they're like, yeah. Can you do this one? Yeah. And then the Miami Heat guys, they couldn't do 2 of them. Whereas the Lakers, they could do 4 of those 5 slam
Four of the
dunks.
5 superstar dunks, and Miami Heat could do 3 of the 5 superstar dunks.
And they could only do 3. And so that's how the Lakers won the NBA championships.
Well, what
Because it all came down to
bloody
dunking.
good planning from them at the start of the bloody calendar year, selecting the people.
They knew it, and then they had their free agency, and they're like, all right, we need guys that can do these types of slam dunks. And they're like, okay, you can do this, you can do this. And they're like, okay, we checked all these boxes just in case the format changes. Because usually it's based on, the team that wins the game, right? But then this time they were just like, look, we're going to switch it up. We're going to base the NBA Finals around these 5 slam dunks. And if your team can complete these. And the Lakers, they had a little bit of foresight there to get guys that could complete those 5 dunks. And that's why dunking is the most important thing in basketball. And I know that because it is my favourite sport.
And you can do 3 out of the 5 superstar dunks.
And I can do 3 out of the 5 superstar dunks.
Well, I'm going to take that as a maybe you'll be in my 2-on-2 pro team. I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to let it go. I don't even have an event in mind, but I know that they come up every now and then. There's a 3-on-3 this weekend. And I'd like to enter a 2-on-2 comp, see how far we go. And just for
No, I think that's cool.
gigs.
We'll let it sit there. I'm not going to commit at the moment.
Just leave it.
I'm not.
Just leave it. I'm not putting pressure on you.
I'm not going to
I'm not
commit at the
gonna-
moment because I know you have a child and you have responsibilities.
Look, I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'm just going to pull back my my aggression in asking and leave it there.
Okay.
We don't want to go on about it anymore.
we'll put
2-on-2 comp as a team together like best friends.
Yeah, well, we'll just leave it. We'll just come back to it when there's an event, when there is an actual
2
tournament.
Lukes, best friends, playing
Lukes.
your favourite sport.
2 Lukes, 1 ball. Yeah, we'll leave that. Was there anything else on that agenda that you made up that we needed to go through?
Make sure you say goodbye and thank your sponsors. Says here.
Okay.
No one. There isn't anyone that sponsors this.
Well, no, because there's nothing
We're
behind
trying to sell
us.
it. Jack Link's Beef Jerky sponsor the Raglan Surf Report part-time. I guess we could say so. Thanks them.
Thanks them. Thanks Jack.
But
Thanks
stop
Jack
there.
Links.
Stop there because
Okay, we can't say any more.
Well, we could, but it's a business transaction.
Yeah, that's true because I can only really thank people that have financially
Contributed. Or anyone with product like Ted Baker watches. They're really cool.
Don't fucking try and slang shit on here. What are you doing?
Trying to get the face-to-face that way, but my wrists aren't flexible.
While we're at it, I'm actually going to thank Volcom. Volcom, this is a Volcom t-shirt, and they've sponsored me for 20 years. Would you believe it?
Really?
20 years.
That's the longest relationship I've ever
Yeah.
heard.
So they've seen in me what most people didn't see.
Your ability to take it backdoor hard.
My ability to wear
He's
the shit out of clothing.
Yeah, good work, Volcom.
Yeah,
Jack
and
Links.
actually that's what I'm going to talk about next podcast is the sexualization of professional surfing.
Yeah, because it is
Because I've been
fucking
through
problem.
that. I've had people take advantage of me and my body within the industry.
That's right, and we are
And-
sick of being victims. Not that I'm a pro, but I've been a victim of sexual. Let's just leave it there.
Well, that's what happens when you are a spitting image of Michael Bublé. Those old ducks love it. But yeah, we'll talk about that next podcast. But thanks for watching or listening. And if you've made it to the end, I just want to say I love you and thanks for supporting this and thanks for being there.
Yeah, now go do something better with your life.
This is the pinnacle of life.
No, we've just given them a real low bar to
us.
start from.
Yeah, this is the low bar. Everything will get better from here on out for you. That's all I got to say. That's my motivational.
This is where you start. It's
Peace.
like making your bed.
Yeah, you've started at the bottom
Yeah.
and off you go.
Now go and do something good. Don't waste your time anymore. You spend enough time on the fucking phone screen time.
Stop.